Okay, so as long as you were not living under a rock for the last 3 4 years, there are zero to none chances that you have not heard about Shein. Founded in the year 2008, Shein today serves around 1 million daily active users and processes around 10,000 daily orders. Valuation of the brand reached 15 billion US dollars in the year 2020, and Shein has recently crossed Amazon as the most downloaded app in the USA. And mind you, Amazon sells everything from clothes to MacBooks, but Shein is just in the business of clothing. So let's dig deeper into how Shein has successfully created such a hype around its offerings. One thing that has worked in favor of Shein is influencer marketing. Shein has worked with great celebs like Rita Ora, Katy Perry, and Hailey Bieber. On top of that, Shein collabs with content creators from apps like Instagram and TikTok. These content creators conduct Shein hauls where they showcase the clothing of Shein. One of the primary reasons of Shein focusing on Instagram and TikTok is that their target audience is Gen Z. And Gen Z is known to be very active on these two platforms. To talk figures, Shein has garnered 6.2 billion views on TikTok, while its arch rival Zara, which is a much bigger brand, has garnered only 3.3 billion views. This vast reach to its audience provides Shein with the much deserved hype for its products. If you have ever visited Shein's app or website, you must have seen that the moment you log in, you are provided with a coupon code of 10 to 15% which is active for a duration of half an hour to 1 hour. On top of that, if you log in every day, you are provided with another coupon code of 5 to 10% which will be active for a fixed duration of time. These coupon codes work as a call for action for its customers who think that these coupons are something that they have earned, and they start looking for ways to utilize this coupon. And since the cost of the products is already pretty low, a huge percentage of the visitors end up buying something. This amazing concept is called gamification of the shopping experience. Shopping becomes an experience which you are doing because of an impulse and not because you want something. Shein is not in the business of fashion, it is in the business of fast fashion. It adds around 2000 items of clothing daily on its platform. It encourages them to frequently log in on the app. And since Shein is providing trendy clothing items at a very low cost, a huge percentage of these hits are bound to convert into sales. Some people even say that shopping on Shein, or even window shopping on Shein for that matter, provides them with a therapeutic experience. But fast fashion brands like Zara and Shein are doing a lot of harm to the environment. To throw some light on this topic, we have Kritika.
So we have Kritika with us. And Kritika, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, this is Kritika. I have done my bachelor's in fashion technology from NIFT Delhi.
Okay. So as you know, Kritika is a person from the fashion background. So Kritika, tell us something about fast fashion and how it is adversely affecting the environment.
Okay, so fast fashion is basically when a clothing design goes from its designing phase or from the runway to the customers very quickly. So fashion cycle, designing it, producing it takes as many as 5 to 6 months, the entire process. But fast fashion brands generally squeeze it into a duration of 15 days, like in case of Zara, to 1 month. So this makes fashion very quick. So it induces an effect of disposability amongst its customers. So people buy more even when it's not necessary. And as we all know, it has a huge impact on the environment. So to give you some numbers, producing 1 kg of cotton takes as much as 20,000 liters of water. And this produces just 1 kg of cotton, which is enough to produce just one shirt. And its production again takes about 3,000 liters of water. So in totality, even before you have worn it, you have actually wasted 23,000 liters of water. And when you count the number of times you have washed that shirt or something, you have wasted so much water into just that. And then if you just wear it for like 10, 15 times and discard it, we can actually make an approximation how much water we are wasting on daily basis
Damn. And
just
again,
with that.
when we dispose these clothes, 93% of these clothes end up in the landfill only. They are not worn again by someone else. So that is also a factor, right?
Yeah, they do, because there's also not a really good mechanism to recycle it well. The brands do not have such kind of a mechanism, so most of them end up going to the landfill.
Hmm.
And also 15%, as much as 15% of the cloth which is bought for production goes to waste. And this is a minimum number. On the higher
Okay.
side, it actually goes up to 30%. So
Got it.
almost 15 to 30% of cloth is being wasted without even being worn.
Okay, so for
So that
example, we
high
have,
is the wastage in the apparel industry.
right, if we have 1 kg of cotton to produce a cloth, only 850 gram maximum is being utilized for the production, right? The 110
Yeah,
grams for every kg is being wasted.
yeah, yeah.
So what are some methods, what are some steps that these brands can take up so as to, make this clothing industry more sustainable?
So I guess both the consumers and the brands can take steps on their sides.
Hmm.
So as consumers, we can opt for exchanges or rental services. So we can see there are a lot of services.
Hmm.
Today we just see it for like weddings and everything, but they are there for daily use clothes as well. So there are brands like Flyro, which lends you clothes for some particular amount of time, and then you have to pay a small amount. And
Okay.
if you see, this is the amount of time you actually wear a cloth for. So it's a saving on your part as well. So we can opt for exchanges and rental services. And while purchasing something, we are often like we come across a fact called greenwashing, where the brands make us believe that the way they produce a particular garment and all their production is very sustainable. But in reality, we miss out on some points. So in totality, the production is not actually sustainable. It's just how they produce it. They like show it to the customer.
Okay.
So in order to get out of that phase, we should look for certification. So there are a number of certifications which are there, which certify that your brand, your product is eco-friendly. It is actually sustainable. It means minimum sustainable levels at least. So there are some like organic content standards, fair trade textile standards. There are a number of standards. So one can look for that.
Got it.
Also, on part of the brand, they should specifically invest in R&D, because most of the apparel which is not being recycled is because we do not have a method for it. For example, polyester and cotton blends, they cannot be recycled as well as cotton. So because they are blended and we do not have a technology as of now to separate them and use them individually.
Right.
So brands should invest in R&D to promote sustainability. So there are a number of brands who are already into R&D, like Nike. So the major part of their money goes into R&D, not in marketing. So it's a very we can say a sustainable brand.
Right.
So they're investing more into coming up with sustainable products, into reusing material.
Right.
So that is what brands can do. And only when the customers would demand for something sustainable, then only will the brands reciprocate.
Exactly. So if we as a society demand more sustainable clothing, the brand will have to come up with something to sustain this demand, right?
Yeah. Like H&M Conscious is one such effort which has come up because there was a demand.
Got it. So thanks a lot, Kritika. Thanks a lot for being a part of this. And
thanks so much for having me here.
So this is the end of this video, where we covered the success story of Shein and the adverse effects of fast fashion. If you like this video, go ahead and drop a like and a comment. If you have some suggestions on the future videos I should make, please mention them in the comments and help this channel to grow by subscribing to it. And one more thing, press the bell icon too. It will provide you with notifications every time I upload a new video. This is Utkarsh signing off for this one, and see you in the next one.
There's not much to do when all I can